Hi, in this video we're going to go over a coordinator workflow that we're implementing at Venice Family Clinic. Go to checkout and do the requisitions for any labs, diagnostics, and referrals that they see. So before we begin the process of requisitioning, I'd like to first point out that if a coordinator were just looking at their patient history pane, you'd notice that you don't see any requisitions done here, and that the only place you can go to see whether or not any of those need to be generated is under checkout, and you have to look for numbers next to labs, diagnostics, or referrals. So now that we see numbers next to each of those, we'll go ahead and do requisitions. So if you want to do the requisitions for labs, just click on labs and hit this button, requisition. This generates our lab requisition, and we're still going to save signing off for the providers. So once you hit requisition, you're done. You can exit out of here, and you'll see in your patient history pane that the lab requisition was added, and the flag next to it just means that it's unsigned. So now that we did labs, we'll go ahead to our Diagnostic Studies. A key difference I'd like to point out for diagnostics referrals and the difference between those two and labs is that you have to do each requisition for these individually. So for example, we see that referrals has 2 requisitions to be done, so we need to do each one individually. Whereas with labs, we were able to generate all 6 labs onto one requisition. So that's just a key difference to note. When we get to diagnostics, we'll see a studies done, and you'll notice that there's no requisition button down here. However, once we highlight our diagnostic study, we'll see requisition appear. Go ahead, hit requisition. And for some reason, for diagnostic studies, every time you hit requisition, the window disappears to the back. That's just something you need to know. This is where you can find it, read it over, see that it was done. And you'll see under your patient history pane that we generated that requisition. So we'll go ahead, proceed to referrals, and once we highlight referrals, we'll notice that referral document now appears, and select referral document, not referral letter. Referral letter generates a letter for these orders, and it's not something we want. Go ahead, select referral document. It'll generate our referral. Exit out, and we'll go ahead and see that that referral was added to our patient history pane. And we'll go ahead and notice that there's still a second referral pending. So that's just something I'd like to point out, that you need to do referrals and diagnostic studies individually when you're doing the requisition. So we'll go ahead, highlight the surgery referral, hit referral document. Our referral will appear, exit out, and we see under our patient history pane that we have our lab requisition, we have our diagnostic requisition, and our 2 referrals requisitions as well. Another area I'd just like to point out is the given to patient verified. This can go ahead and remain the same. If you handed the lab orders, diagnostics, and referrals to the study, go ahead, select yes. If the patient left early, you can leave a comment saying that they weren't given to the patient directly, that they're being mailed, whatever the case may be. So in summary, come to checkout and do requisitions for these labs, diagnostics, and referrals. Anything below referrals does not require requisition, in case you see any numbers next to them. Thank you.